Sometimes I often wonder why people say and do the things that they do. An article that was in the Daily Mail, a UK newspaper, national newspaper, that it kind of brought back memories. I remember the time back in the 80s with a marmalade jar, and that was on it. There was a funny picture of a person, or it was viewed as the Gollywog, and it had been a stamp there for years. When I got a deeper understanding of what the Gollywog meant, it was a term for black people. Now, that Gollywog picture was removed after many complaints. I understand. I mean, I was a little boy when it happened, so and it no longer was in a marmalade jar. All done and dusted, as they say, but nothing's ever done and dusted. And then today I read an article. I couldn't believe it. Well, I'll read it to you, and then you can work it out for yourselves. The article is in the Mail Online, or the Daily Mail. It says, rower who blacked up to pilot his boat, the Golliwogger, in River Festival denies racism, saying, down in Cornwall, it's a bit different. Yes, it's like that. In this day and age, you'd think that stuff like this would have, well, at least in the UK, would have cleared up. Clearly not. It's pretty blatant, but I'll tell you the story anyway. A builder who blacked up in public then rowed his boat down the Golliwogger in the West Country Rivers Festival today, defended the decision and said, down in Cornwall, it's a bit different. Giles Stowis, 35, has criticised the politically correct people who were offended by his fancy dress at the event last weekend in Wadesbridge, Cornwall. Shocked festival goers complained to National Brewers Sharps, who sponsored the event, who also described the situation as deeply disappointing. Deeply disappointing. Well, that's one way to put it. But Mr. Stawaki has denied that he acted in poor taste and said other parts of the country have gone a bit too politically correct. Down in Cornwall, it's a bit different. People took it in the good humour it was intended. I don't find it offensive, but I understand other people might. Mr. Stawaki was not the only person to black up, and was among a crew of 5 men and 8 women who took part in the popular race on Saturday. 3 others were named Cannibal, and a couple more as cavemen on their makeshift boat, which was named the Golliwogger. They were among the 20 entrants in their annual Sharps Brewery raft race on the Camel Estuary, which was the highlight of the Camel Rivers Festival. One onlooker said, it comes across as racist. I don't see the point of getting dressed up like that. It's a bit extreme. They called the boat the Golliwogger. James Nichols, senior brand manager of Sharps Brewery of Doomsbar Ale, said, in no way do we condone this behaviour of the team of entrants. We are deeply disappointed this has been allowed to happen. We have stressed our concern to the event organisers and have asked for reassurances that they will manage the behaviour of contestants at any future events that we may sponsor. River Festival organiser Dominic Walford, president of the Wadebridge Chamber of Commerce, apologised and said, I take full responsibility of this error. We are a new team running a fairly new event, but the fact that this raft apparently slipped through the net and was allowed to sail is unacceptable and certainly does not represent the views of the town, the festival, or the vast majority of participants. I would like to reassure visitors to this event that in future we will issue clearer guidelines for participants. Each raft will be carefully vetted and any offensive fancy dress will be excluded from the race. Once again, I would like to apologise for any offence caused. And just like that, it's over and done with. Well, what my view is, it's quite simple. The fact that they even were allowed to get on the boat dressed the way that they were at a pretty big event, clearly the organisers whoever allowed them to get in their boat and be dressed the way that they were, because clearly they would have had to walk on the boat to have then sailed. So whoever the organiser was found it fit and proper to have somebody dressed in a racist attire, and on top of that, naming the boat the Golliwogger, even worse. So racism is still out there. There are still people out there that, and this will, the fact that this can just be nicely tucked away and a few words of an apology. Now if that person was attacked because of this event, then what would happen then? See, stuff like this, apologies are not good enough. In this day and age, a person like that should be banned from the event. That's the first thing. The second thing is they shouldn't even be allowed to even get on the boat. But that's just my viewpoint. Would love to know what you think of this event. The fact that in 2015, even though the Gollywog, the actual posting of it on the marmalade jar was banned, somehow it's acceptable. And then to say that in Cornwall, down there in Cornwall, that it's not that way inclined, I would say that that is pretty ignorant and a very poor excuse. And as for the organisers, they themselves need to be, they should be sacked, to be honest. To say an apology is not good enough. You're offending a race of people. It's offensive. It's not good. It's in bad taste. And they, the organisers, sharps, should also, just to say we're sorry is not good enough. And it's unacceptable, all accounts. And how they've got away like this is unbelievable. Well, those are my thoughts on a interesting article. Amazing how something like this can just get blown over. Again, let me know what you think.